Good afternoon, Master Duel fans. James Polk here, and we got us a incredible super grind matchup. Activate Spirit Charmers, ditching partnerships, grab the Awakening, resetting the Unpossessed. Activates Awakening, summons Hita, Awakening spell to get a card, and flips an Unpossessed. So basically, the way how the deck works, basically this is your typical average. Almost a holy trinity. Well, halfway, I should say. Well, at the same time, had to flip this up just in case some shenanigans going to trigger. So let's see what opponent plays. Normal summons Zaphion the Timelord. Okay, so according to the Timelord's gimmick, can't be special from deck. No monsters at all. Normal summon a Timelord without tribute. Can't be killed by battle or effects. No battle damage involving the Timelord. And at the end of the battle, depends on which Timelord is on board, they actually do something. So, as for Zaphion's end of battle, spin moves all spells and traps that I control, which absolutely outs too many things that couldn't be anti-target, killed by effects, and so on. Zaphion hits Hita, and there goes my possessed spell traps. One set could be anything. Oh, and almost forgot about Zaphion's side effect. If it's sent from field to graveyard, which who knows if it ever comes up, draw a card. And on top of that, literally every Time Lord's gimmick, during your standby phase, shuffle it back. Now, Metaion here, this card wasn't seen for a long time, ever since had format or even something of a different format last time I checked, since Colossus or something. Beats me though. Anywho, gimmick, more gimmicks later. Okay, here it is. At the end of the battle, if this card battles, so basically first chance Metaion hits something, return as many monsters on the field as possible to the hand outside of Metaion. And if you do, burn your opponent 300 for every card returned. So in this instance, the more cards on the field, the more burn damage. Metaion hits. I lose one card back to hand, and I take the 3. One set. Normal summons Hita. Specials the earth and fire animals. Fairy Tale Tails trigger in case some burn comes up, and I was actually right on the money. With Fairy Tale Tails on board, Hita exists. It makes it so that the first time I take battle or effect damage, I do not ever take the damage. So Secret Blast, try to play it out. Sadly, no damage. Metaion comes back. Lightning Storm, killing my Fairy Tale Tails, drops Metaion again. So instead of compulsing one monster, compulsing 3 monsters, and I end up losing 900. Lightning Storm of my own as well, and what do we hit? Dimension Wall. A rather old trap that reads, activate only when your opponent's monster declares an attack. So basically, first chance I attack. Instead of your opponent takes the battle damage you would have taken from this battle. So basically, the trap card is literally Amazoness Swordswoman, or even Daigusto's Freeze of sorts. Normal summons Hita, specials the same animals. Overlay the 2 animals into Heartland Draco. Detach 1, get a direct attack. Metaion comes back. Summons Raphion the Timelord. At the end of the battle, burn your opponent based on the one monster's attack. So basically, first chance it battles I either take 1850 or 2000 flat out. End up losing 2000 life. That's one. Special Gigabyte, since I control Hita. XZ Shokan into Rhapsody in Berserk. If you never saw this old XZ before, here's how it works out. Target one face-up XZ you control, equip it as if as a equip spell. Extra 1200 boost. And on top of that, twice per turn, detach one, target one card in your opponent's graveyard, banish it. So in this instance, my opponent literally has nothing good in the graveyard, so we chose to equip Heartland Draco. Heartland Draco, direct attack for 32. Raffion comes back. Actually, Chaining Compulse. And what's the target? Targets Raffion just so that it wouldn't get spun back into the deck. That is genius, not gonna lie. Normal summons Raffion again, and the Timelord player opted to leave out of the battle phase. I think that was either a misclick or the fact that I had Heartland Draco with too much attack. And had Raffion attacked Heartland Draco, I would have lost to 32. I would have been at 16 damage. Tributes the Heartland Draco into Reaper, just for the sake of less damage in any shape or form. And if you're wondering why tribute the Heartland Draco over the Reaper, that is because I'm willing to get this card into the graveyard as quickly as possible to get the possessed spell trap search. Flips on unpossessed again. Raffion comes back. And once you know it, Reaper gets tributed for the Kaiju. A beefy Kaiju known as Jizukiru. Reaper's effect gets the possessed spell trap. Searches partnerships. And summons Metaion again. Not gonna lie though, I legit like that strat. Gets the Kaiju back off from Metaion. I take the 300. Sets 1. Could be anything. Metaion comes back. Okay, so Jizukiru and 2 unknowns. Spirit Charmers, ditching Raigeki because most of the times Time Lords literally don't do anything. Area added, Awakening spell set, repositioning ever since turn 1. Awakening spell and unpossessed the way it is now. Normal summons area, drew into evenly, we got cards on board. Area swings, dimension wall, I take 2150. Tributes area for Jizukiru. Normal summons Michion the Time Lord. So in this one, for end of battle, first chance Michion battles, cut your opponent's points in half. Michion hits the beefy Jizukiru, and I am at 1175. Nefarious kills Jizukiru. Nefarious comes back, unpossessed, grab, win, awakening, draw a card. Drew into consecrated, but opponent is playing multiple attributes, so it does nothing. So set 1 could be anything. Michion comes back. Planet Pathfinder. Now, in this instance, about Planet Pathfinder, I could use partnerships to stop Pathfinder to end the game this way, but it made me think, it's basically, the card is no harm, so summon is fine, and I even let my opponent get the field spell of choice, which could lead to literally anything, but the true question is, what field spell is my opponent going to catch in this XZ format? Searching for Numeron Network. In this instance, I legit have to immediately either wait to activate the field spells effect to send the card from dead to the graveyard as cost, to make sure to activate the partnerships to revive one of the FPs, and the field spell will not resolve. So let's see what's the maneuver. Activates Network. Activates Numeron Calling from the hand. So, in this instance, since my opponent did not use the field spell effect to send the Calling from dead to graveyard, it makes it so that he can fetch out the foreign numbers for free, of course. So, in this instance, I have to make sure by activating Possessed Partnerships to target the network field spell, just to make sure that the side effect of Numeron XZs will not be able to activate without the detaching, because without that field spell, Numerons will not be able to double up the attack. So let's see where the theory leads to. Awakening spell triggers, draw a card. And turns out that theory was right. Without that field spell and the fact that they have no materials, they will not be able to double up the attack. And that is game. And if you love to see more crazy, super grindy matchups as this, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and hit that notification to keep yourself constantly updated. And I'll see you guys next time.